Let's have a look at Donald Trump speaking at that same rally in Minnesota just a few moments ago.
We have a brand new victim. And honestly, she's a radical left lunatic. And she is, when you find out about her, all I have to say is defund the police. That was her big thing. Let's defund the police.
And here's his comments about Israel.
Today's attack on Israel cannot be forgotten, and it will go down as another moment in history created by a weak and ineffective United States president and vice president. They wouldn't have done this if I were the president. They wouldn't have done it.
Rita.
Yes, commentary there. Kamala obviously is now in every statement. It's not just Biden anymore, it's the VP as well. And she is on the record talking about the BLM riots, saying how they should continue, they have a right to continue. We know she raised bail money for some of those thugs who were being arrested. And she is, again, on the record giving speeches about reimagining public safety. And, you know, you don't need police numbers to have that. There's other ways. So all of the far left talking points that she embraced in 2020 and before are going to come back to haunt her. I know the media will try to bury it, but X is now a free platform. You've got programs like this. The message will be there.
There's no program like this, Rita. Wash your mouth out with soap.
Yeah,
this is unique in the world. Plenty of copyists. That's a different story.
Although I will say we are going to have a lot more on Kamala Harris's behavior when she was in that prosecutor's office on the U.S. report this coming up Friday night at 8 p.m. But
we mentioned that Monday to Thursday.
We had a free plug from Alex Antic for you. That was very special. You should cut that out and put that on Twitter because Alex Antic's got a lot of fans. You know.
Well, that chat with Alex has got about 1 million views online already.
Well, there you go. There you go. No, but I mean, but look, this whole the other bit to this too is that we know very, very little about where she stands on anything related to foreign policy at all. So we do know that when it comes to Israel, we do know that.
She explained the Russian-Ukrainian.
Oh, yes, she did explain that
Russia's a big country,
and
Ukraine is a smaller country, and then Russia did something it shouldn't have done to a small. The way she talks about consequential issues is like she's explaining
to a 5-year-old.
Yeah, but you know why?
Yes. This is a real danger, though, and I worry that on some level Republicans are going to walk into a bit of a trap here because they're going to try and deal with her in a rational sort of way, and she is hitting certain demographics in a very sort of irrational kind of brainstem sort of way, atavistically, and they're going absolutely nuts, some quarters of society. And once they sort of start to fall for this, it's very hard to get them to reconsider. And they'll say, oh, all of the goofy, ridiculous stuff with the coconut tree, they find this endearing. And that's the weird thing.
The coconut tree, she frequently refers to her parents. And I was going to show you this in Wackademia. Her dad, an old newspaper clipping of her dad, he's a Marxist professor. So both his parents were Marxists, and so she was there. He is. That's Dad, wealthy Marxist professor, of course, because the Marxist elites always have lots of money and do very well. But she learnt this Marxist stuff on her parents' knee. That's probably why she always sounds like she's talking to 5-year-olds when she's discussing
Remember when she... was it Martin Luther King's story?
Freedom.
Yes, she wanted to be freedom.
Yeah. I mean, she is just
But this is the thing. It's Orwellian because she talks about freedom, and you see this in one of the ads that she's running now. She talks a lot about freedom, which doesn't mean anything on the left. It actually just means control.
Yes.
And then in the next breath of that same ad, she talks about equity, which is what I was speaking about before, which is essentially this idea that the government, levels everybody up. That's not freedom at all. I'm sorry, that's slavery.
But what we also have to talk about is very little media scrutiny of the fact that we've got a man who's being judged not fit to run for president again, but he's going to remain in the Oval Office. I mean, that is something that puts the whole world in danger because America's enemies, the West's enemies, know they've now got a few months where they've got a weak, inept administration. They've got
an 8 o'clock bedtime. Joe Biden, he is still in charge. Everybody is acting.
But he's not even running anymore.
No, but you can see this thing on Friday when it was Thursday when Kamala Harris is getting up and doing the whole Netanyahu talk. acting like she's president. Mark my words, they are going to swap her out.
They will swap her
before the election so that she can run with all the benefits of being an incumbent. You heard it here first.
Absolutely. There's no question. Absolutely.